Hey everybody, today I'm going to share with you guys kind of how our family has been shifting and transitioning into a new normal, which is pretty common for foster families to do. Whether you're bringing kids into your home or kids are actually leaving your home as a foster family, it just causes a lot of changes. So flexibility is key, and really not having a plan can be the best plan. So I'm going to share with you guys what those changes have looked like for us as we are trying to adapt. It has been a couple of weeks now that we have been back to a family of 4, so that's myself, John, Darcy, and Sawyer. And we're finally getting into a routine again where we are kind of getting into a groove. So when John and I have kids in care staying with us, we kind of try to split things up. And what that looked like previously was that John would take Darcy and Sawyer to daycare, and then I would stay home and make sure the other kids were getting on the bus for school or getting to camp or whatever it might be that day. And now that we just have Darcy and Sawyer, we've kind of shifted that where John goes straight to his shop. He starts his work day and I go ahead and I take Darcy and Sawyer into daycare. This gives him a jump start on his day. He is most productive in the morning. And then for me, I'm kind of most productive at night. And so what ends up happening is during the daycare pickup routine where John is picking up Darcy and Sawyer, I'm making sure to tidy up things around the house, get dinner ready. That makes me sound really traditional and housewifey. Honestly, that's just how our roles kind of play out. Typically, me and Crosley are gonna hang out throughout the day, just us and the guinea pigs. He's a pretty good coworker. And at this point in the day, I've already done a load of laundry, I've put in a few hours of contract work, and I'm taking a quick break to get my lunch set up. And this is something I'm excited to share with you guys. So as you know, we love our HelloFresh, and typically we're making those dinners for dinner, but today I'm doing something a little bit different. So there are a few recipes that pop up when it's time for us to schedule our HelloFresh delivery, and John is not necessarily the biggest fan, but it is one of my favorites. So this time we decided to compromise, and we went ahead and we ordered this meal, and I'm gonna be prepping it for my lunches this week. And one of the reasons I love this recipe so much is it is so delicious and just packed with flavor. It breaks me out of my typical boring sandwich for lunch, and I get this really healthy, delicious meal. It also saved me time and stress because the meal is already planned and prepped. All I have to do is put it all together. Another thing we love about HelloFresh is that it helps us eat more sustainably. With the pre-portioned ingredients, it creates much less wasted food. And being able to get this meal specifically for my lunches just shows how flexible HelloFresh can be with your lifestyle. And as always, we love a company that gives back. HelloFresh donated over 4 million meals to charity in 2020, and they continue to step up their food donations amid the coronavirus crisis. So if you're ready to try HelloFresh, go to HelloFresh.com, use our code VILLAGE14 to get 14 free meals, including free shipping. One thing I've been trying to do a better job of now that we're back to a family of 4 is really keeping up on the house. I do like things pretty clean, pretty tidy, and so when we expanded to a family of 7, that was one thing that didn't necessarily bother me because I just kind of adapted, but now having the extra time, it's something that I am putting my focus back into. And I'm one of those weird people who really enjoys to clean. I don't mind it at all, actually. I'd rather, put on an audiobook or music and just go to work. But what I do like to do is split up the house into different sections and zones and tackle it one at a time, pretty much like one section every day. This day, I was actually going to work on the 2nd floor, so I'm cleaning up John and ours bathroom. And then I did a quick dust in our bedroom and then just ran the Roomba. And I will say that the Roomba is an absolute must-have for our family with young kids and pets. Definitely like to keep that running all the time. We're actually in the process of deciding what we're going to do with the kids' rooms. We think that it might be time to go ahead and give Sawyer and Darcy separate rooms, even though that wasn't the original plan. So this room we might be switching out with some dinosaur decor. And then Darcy's, I think I just tidied up her room. We did it together, and so that's pretty in shape. And I cleaned the kids' bathroom the day before. So now the 2nd floor is clean, except for some random piles, which I'm definitely not ready to deal with. I'll eventually get to these piles and finally put away my winter clothes, hopefully before I need them for winter. Then after getting cleaned up, I'm gonna go ahead and do some computer work. I have some research I'm doing on foster parent grief and loss, so I'm working on that content to put a video together for you guys that's gonna be released later this week. And it's been a little bit of a struggle because a lot of the content is fairly outdated, so I'm trying to pick and choose from different resources.
What's up, Village?
So John just got home and we're supposed to be heading out to get Darcy because it's her t-ball game today. But it is like pouring outside. I don't think
game's not probably gonna happen. I mean, it is a few miles north of where we are. So.
It is. So we're gonna see. So we're gonna load up. We bought not just a regular foldable chair, but a foldable bench.
Yeah, triple.
a triple bench. This was like a couple of weeks before the kids actually left. And we had gotten it specifically so that we could accommodate a bigger family, and now we're back to a family of 4. Stuff like that happens. Again, you just have to roll with the punches. You transition to a bigger family, and then you have to transition back. That's basically what this video is.
Yeah, lots of transitions.
So we're gonna see if this game is gonna happen, and later John and I will talk a little bit about how it's felt as we're kind of shifting our routines. So Darcy, we have some bad news.
Coming.
So since it's raining, there's no t-ball. But we have tacos at home. So now the serious stuff. I do have to do some disclaimers for this part of the video because we are strictly going to be talking about how our routines and our home have changed. We're not digging into what it feels like.
The emotions of everything.
The emotions of having children come into your care and then leaving. For whatever reason. There's many reasons why, kids will leave your home, whether they're being reunified, meaning that they're going to their birth family or their first family. They could be going to kinship, which is staying with family while they're in care, or if reunification is no longer an option and the child is going to be adopted, they could be going through that process as well. And so, kids come into your home and then most often they're going to leave your home. That comes with a lot of emotions, and that is why I'm working on that grief and loss video, which should be coming out in the next few days. And we've experienced this a few times now, having kids, stay with us and leave.
Yep.
Leaving for multiple reasons. It has either been, a really quick process, or it's been gradual.
Yeah.
And obviously I think that the more gradual the transition, the better for, the child, the more successful those placements or reunifications are going to be. And also it makes it easier on you as a foster family, especially if you have, kids still remaining in the home, whether that be other kids who are in care or your own children, whether birth or adoption. So as far as routines go, how do you feel our routine has kind of changed?
Everything has changed. So the thing that's probably the most noticeable, I guess, is like dinner routines.
Yeah.
Because it used to be that we'd make like 5 or 6 different things. Because none of the 2 kids like the same thing. It seemed like. So it was just a buffet line of all these
That is true.
All kinds of different foods.
Yeah, and that changes how we grocery shop and how we're trying to work through our food right now, because I'm not used to, grocery shopping and dinner planning is a lot different. Not good or bad, it's just different. I know one of the first things that I did, and again, I'll talk about this in the grief and loss video, because for me, the way that I'm coping is really just distracting. And I think that's what we both have really been doing, is trying to distract ourselves before we really dig into those feelings and emotions. But I went through and I reorganized the entire pantry. That was my big thing, because it was kind of a reminder that we were, missing the kids, the way that the pantry was set up. So I changed all of that because 1, it was a coping strategy, and 2, it just didn't work anymore. We wanted to switch things up and make it work for Darcy and Sawyer and for us. What other routines feel different?
Nighttime routines are way, way different.
Yeah.
Prepping a bunch of kids for bedtime at different times and figuring out everything. Darcy specifically was really close with one of the kids and slept in the same room, so things, you know, nighttime for a while was really tough for her. I think she's adjusted now.
Yeah.
But overall, Darcy has adjusted really well, and I think that's because we've had 2 previous kids stay with us that had to leave, and like, so she kind of understood like what was going to happen.
Yeah. Even though it was a little bit more abrupt and, you know, different explanation of the situation, yeah, she did surprisingly well. Obviously, she still, you know, talks about the kids and make comments where clearly
she's still thinking about them.
Yeah, she's still thinking about them. But we were very surprised at how she, I would say, like, bounced back. I was expecting big acting out behaviors.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is pretty common if you have, you know, kids who remain in the home and you go through a change like that, whether the kids are coming in or whether they're leaving. It's kind of expected that there's going to be a period of time where you're finding that normal and, you know, kids are feeling that stress, and so they act out. But she's done surprisingly well.
Yeah.
But yeah, bedtime routines, definitely different. I do think that in general, we've gotten a lot of like time back in our daily routine and our schedule, and we're still trying to figure out how to fill that time because it feels really weird.
Yeah. Like your body gets in this habit doing things every day, and like you get used to it, and then it's just like it slows down. You're like, I don't know what to do now.
Yeah, I don't know where it cut off, but our battery died. So
yeah, hopefully all that saved.
Yeah. Oh God, jeez. But yeah, I feel like I'm having a harder time figuring out like what my routine looks like because I went from go go go. Which actually I do a lot better when like I have a lot on my plate. I feel like I'm like, it's kind of like, oh, like you have to get these things done. Just like go, go, go. There's no ambiguity. Like do 5 loads of laundry, you know, just keep going. So for me, it's been a little weird, I would say.
Especially because like you're working from home.
Yeah.
And you've been at home, you know what I mean? And I leave and go to work, so.
Yeah, that's true.
It's different for me.
Yeah, so like he had that separation, and for me, I guess like I feel it more. I feel the routine being different because, you know, while I'm at home, I'm doing a lot of things and that work for the family. But yeah, I'm trying to find a groove. And also, it's really hard to separate these 2 videos, the grief and loss and then the routines, because they're so tied together.
Yeah, they're very intertwined.
Because some of the problems with me not being able to find a routine is because I'm still dealing with a lot of those feelings. But yeah, more about that later. There's just the obvious change of having when 3 kids come into your home and you adjust your home. There were so many things that we either purchased or changed in our home so that it could function for a family of 7. And then having 3 members of the family leave, there's like physically a big hole.
Yeah.
There's a lot of space. There's a lot of empty drawers, a lot of empty closet space, and we don't want to fill it. Like we're just a family of 4. We're not just gonna find a way to fill those spaces. So it does feel weird.
It feels empty, for sure.
Feels very empty. And we have talked about how we're, you know, still hopeful that we can continue to foster, but there is going to be a break. And so during that break, it's just going to be a little bit more empty. And
It's going to be a little awkward.
And we did have like my sister's family having to stay with us. That filled the house for like a week. They had to stay with us because they had a plumbing issue. We've had our previous foster daughter stay with us. We're hoping to be able to get together with our other previous foster daughter. We haven't been able to see her because of the pandemic, but you know, we're in communication with her, so she might come visit, and so that extra room, you know, can be for her. And we do feel like, just based off of our family's like schedule, I feel like it's probably time where Darcy and Sawyer go ahead and have a separate room. Originally they were sharing a room, and then we had 2 rooms dedicated to kids who might come to us in foster care. And just because of their ages and because, you know, they have had a break from being in the same room, we're starting to, you know, figure out, okay, well, maybe we go ahead and make this permanent.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for their ages.
I think so too, especially when, like, you know, we look in the future and say, well, if we're going to foster, when is that going to be?
You're always presented with like future plans of like, will we do this vacation in 3 months? Will we go here in a month? and it's really hard to like try to plan that because you don't know if kids are going to be with you, if the kids that are with you won't be with you. So like I've always said, just like plan as if whatever your current situation is will be that situation, and if it changes, then you can kind of audible or react. That's a football reference, sorry.
So right now we have to assume we're just a family of 4, and then when that changes, we'll just adapt.
Yeah, that's a better word. Adapt's a better word.
Audible, do an audible.
Yeah.
42, 45. But that's what's been working for us as far as like as our family ebbs and flows with our routines and with our home. You just have to go with it. And this is coming from somebody who is a planner. Like I have changed a lot. I've grown a lot as a person, as a foster parent, because I was very much like plan, organize, and it's not that you can't have those same, skills and characteristics as a foster parent, but it changes.
Yeah, you've become a lot more flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm breezy. I'm like the definition of Monica from Friends, and then like I'm breezy.
I can be breezy.
I can be breezy. But I think that is like, when I'm a foster parent, I have to be way more breezy.
Yeah, for sure.
And then when we don't have kids in care, I can be back to Monica. Wow, all these people who don't get this reference, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the youngins. Although a lot of the youngins now are watching Friends.
That is true.
So
that is true.
Maybe they all understand it.
So you think I've adapted well?
Yeah, you become way more flexible. So if there are any foster families or families thinking about fostering, if you have any advice or experiences that you want to share about how you guys transition when kids come in and kids leave a comment below. That would be a big help.
Yeah, we love how you guys all interact in the comments and help each other and support each other. Just make sure that your comments are still maintaining confidentiality and privacy of the kids who you might be referring to. And since we had a sponsorship in this video, we are gonna go ahead and grant a wish for a child in foster care on One Simple Wish. They got a Reddit hug recently and they have been like wiped out of wishes.
Yeah.
So it might just have to be it's been absolutely incredible. But basically, it might have to be just a monetary donation because they might not have any wishes up at this time. But we will add that in right after this. So if you want to keep going on this journey with us and see where it leads, please consider subscribing and we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.